Okay, go ahead.
The late Eric Williams said, democracy finally rests on a higher power than parliament. It rests on an informed and cultivated and alert public opinion. The members of parliament are only representatives of the citizens. They cannot represent apathy and indifference. They can play the part allotted to them only if they represent intelligence and public spiritness. To care for those who once cared for us is one of the highest honors. As we have seen, this pandemic is bringing out the best and the worst in us. At its best, we are witnessing empathy and kindness of fellow citizens towards their other citizens in distress. At its worst, we are seeing people speaking out of fear, frustration, and uncertainty as a result of an exemption policy and border closure, which left many citizens of Trinidad and Tobago exiled and stranded, even as I speak. Another social worst that has emerged from this COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago pertains to the treatment of the elderly population. According to the science, the elderly are at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19 infection. Older adults have been instructed to limit face-to-face interactions with individuals outside their immediate household in an attempt to flatten the curve. Physical and social distancing protocols were put in place. Not all elderly are frail, but those who are, because of limited or impaired physical mobility, less autonomy, increased vulnerability to infections and immunological depletion, cognitive decline, chronic health conditions, lower injury thresholds, and higher recovery times. Older people are special and should be put on a firm pedestal, not one built by a foundation supported by shaky governmental scaffolding and compromising public service announcements. MP Deyalsingh, having the elderly population initially massed together, a crowd of more than 300 elderly persons line up to wait for only 200 available vaccines, is nothing short of abuse of the elderly. To have them sitting in the rain, no shelter except for an umbrella, Dr. Rowley, speaks volumes about you as a leader. In the words of Nelson Mandela, a nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. According to the World Data Atlas, Trinidad and Tobago's population aged 60 and over in 2020 was 236.86 thousand persons, an increase from 65.46 thousand persons in 1971, and is growing at an average annual rate of 2.66%. According to an article dated January 23, 2020, expressed, based on the above statistics, Trinidad and Tobago's aging population is increasing, while at the same time the country's working population will decline. This means the sustainability of the NIS scheme, which financially supports retired people, will be negatively impacted. This was a revelation by Trinidad and Tobago's American Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Nirad Tiwari. Tiwari stated that we are facing the reality of an aging population and we need to pay attention to the impacts this will have on our society, and more importantly, how to prepare for it. This COVID-19 pandemic should be a government's dry run on how to handle the next one on the horizon. If I had to grade the performance of the PNM thus far, it would not be a favorable one. At this time, I'd like to recite one of my pieces I did, and I aptly named it Ode to Aging. There may come a day when my glistening locks will all be gray, and I may not recall what you say. That's the time I'll need you most. Stay by my side in case I get lost. In the twilight of my years, my face may show the many internal fears. That's the time I'll need you near, with you, with your favorite handkerchief to wipe away my tears. There may come a day when I may not recall what you did or say. I may embark on a journey and not find my way. Beside me, my love, promise me you will stay. There may come a day not so far away. Promise me, like a used tire, you won't toss me away, and you will give me shelter on a rainy day. This is your resident poet, Diana Benskin, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again. Good night.